There's literally never been a better time to buy the HX Stomp. Not only did Line 6 just drop the Stomp price down to $550, but in my opinion, this pedal is one of the greatest of all time. If you've been on the fence about buying the HX Stomp, stick around because in this video, I will talk through everything you need to know about buying this pedal and why you should buy it, as well as what other options exist on the market. Let's dive in. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, Line 6 just dropped their price of a new HX Stomp down to $550. And in a video that I made last year, which you can find right here, I talked about how $700 for a new Stomp was too expensive. In this case, not only can you get a new unit cheaper, but that also means that the used market is going to start slowly ticking downwards, and you're going to be able to find something for maybe high threes or low fours for a used unit. And at that price point, in my opinion, it is an absolute no-brainer and you should buy the HX Stomp. Now, if you're not familiar with the HX Stomp and how it can serve your gear collection, the Stomp is part of Line 6's Helix collection, and it's going to be a smaller enclosure, but it's going to offer all of the same effects and the amps as their flagship model, which costs 3 times as much as the Stomp. You are going to be more limited to 8 blocks and only have 3 available foot switches. However, you're going to also have a smaller enclosure that's going to make it more pedalboard friendly. And how many guitarists are using the Stomp today is they're either using it as a home recording rig, as a simple flight rig, or as something to complement their pedalboard. And whether it be building a mini pedalboard rig or using it as their amp sim, the HX Stomp is truly versatile. And because of that and many other reasons, I think it's one of the greatest pedals of all time. The possibilities with this unit are virtually endless, and honestly, it's just a fun and intuitive unit to use. If you ever find yourself limited by the 3 foot switches, Jet Pedals makes the Micro, which is going to be a MIDI controller that's pre-programmed for the HX Stomp. And if that's something you're interested in, check out the description for 10% off your order, and you also help support this channel. Now, since it's been a year since I created my last HX Stomp video, I think there are some more contenders that we need to take a look at. Now, in my opinion and Guitar Players Magazine, the HX Stomp is the #1 amp pedal that you can get in 2024. However, one of the only cons with the HX Stomp is that somebody wanting a more simple experience may be tempted to look elsewhere. And in this case, because the Stomp is jam-packed with so many features, you may feel like it's a little cluttered or overwhelming. However, if you do want to consider other options, the ToneX has some of the best amp sounds at this price point, but you're definitely going to be more limited on the overall effects that are offered inside of the unit. And some other really great IR solutions are going to be the Iridium or the ACS1 from Walrus Audio. And drawing from my own experience, I really enjoyed the simplicity of the Iridium. One other contender to call out is going to be Universal Audio and the Ruby and the Dream. And in this case, you get some of the best sounding Fender or Vox tones out there, but you're going to be more limited, and I would only recommend either of these options if you know you're dead set on wanting the Vox or the Fender tone. Lastly, Kemper just released the Kemper Player, and you get some of my favorite amp sounds, and you get some really awesome effects. However, I also made another video talking about why I'm not purchasing that pedal here, and it's largely because I feel like the price is too expensive, and the HX Stomp still offers more for a lower price. In terms of who I think the HX Stomp is for, I think it's a super versatile unit. For me personally, I love that I can just pack this into my mono case and plug it straight into my DAW for easy recording. This makes it a really great home recording option, and having the ability to plug in headphones Also means I get fantastic tones when I'm practicing at really low volumes and just plugging in my in-ears. Now, for the people that I don't think the Stomp is for is if you're wanting a more true all-in-one solution. And in this case, you might find yourself limited by the 3 stomps, and I would actually recommend either going with the Pod Go or the LT. Along that same note, if you find yourself wanting something more simple, I think you might want to look elsewhere. In my own experience, when I was first looking at creating a mini pedal board, I was looking to the Iridium because I loved how simple it was. However, the HX Stomp felt a little complicated when I was looking at it, and once I actually got my hands on the unit, it is not a complicated unit, but it's definitely a little crammed, and there's a lot that it can do, which can be overwhelming for some. And if you're wanting something with more of a real amp feel, this is where I would recommend the Kemper Player or the ToneX, where you're going to have profiling technology that's going to feel much more like you're playing an amp that's mic'd up in another room. I personally think that the Helix gets 90% of the way there, but misses out on some of that feel when playing a real amp. Now, to wrap up this video, I think the HX Stomp is a really amazing unit, and having it in conjunction with my Kemper helps create a different playing experience and something that I truly love and enjoy. And for $500 brand new, or maybe around $400 used, I think it's a no-brainer, and it's something that every guitarist should add to their arsenal. Now, before you take that HX Stomp plunge, watch this video on getting started right here, and I'll see you in the next video.